Have you ever noticed how some people can walk into a room without saying a word, and somehow you notice them? They aren't necessarily the loudest person. They aren't trying to get everyone's attention. They aren't even doing anything special. They just seem different, calm, confident, present. And people often call that kind of presence aura. But here's the truth. Aura isn't magic. It's not something you're born with. And you don't need to act arrogant, mysterious, or intimidating to have it. A huge part of what people call aura comes down to something much more practical. Your body language. Because before you say a single word, your body has already started communicating. The way you stand, the way you walk, where you look, how much you move, how you react when someone speaks, even how comfortable you look when absolutely nothing is happening. Your body is constantly sending signals. And today, I'm going to show you how to make those signals work for you. Let's start with something incredibly simple. Your posture. Think about the difference between someone who walks into a room with their head down, shoulders collapsed, constantly looking at their phone, and someone who walks in with a relaxed, upright posture, looking around naturally. Neither person has said anything, but you've already formed an impression. That's how powerful posture can be. Now, I'm not telling you to walk around with your chest pushed out and your shoulders pulled back like you're auditioning for a superhero movie. That's not confidence, that's acting. Instead, think relaxed and balanced. Keep your head in a natural position, let your shoulders relax. Keep your body upright without making it stiff. Let your feet feel grounded. The goal isn't to look bigger. The goal is to look comfortable. And that's a theme you're going to hear throughout this entire video. Confidence looks comfortable. A lot of people think confidence means looking serious all the time. It doesn't. You don't need a permanent "don't talk to me" face. You don't need to walk slowly everywhere. You don't need to pretend you're too cool to care. Actually, when someone is genuinely comfortable with themselves, they usually don't have to perform confidence. You can see it in the way they move. And speaking of movement, let's talk about walking. Your walking speed says more about your state of mind than you might realize. If you're constantly rushing, looking down, checking your phone, avoiding eye contact, and moving like you're late for something, you can appear nervous or distracted. But here's the important part. I'm not saying you should start walking in slow motion. Please don't. You don't want to look like you're walking through an action movie in your own head. Just walk naturally. Have a normal pace. Keep your head up. Pay attention to where you're going. Let your arms move naturally, and stop treating every room like you're trying to escape it. That small change can make your movement feel much more controlled. Now let's talk about your eyes. Eye contact is one of the fastest ways to improve your presence, but there's a big difference between eye contact and staring. You don't need to lock on to someone's eyes for 30 seconds like you're trying to win a psychological battle. That's uncomfortable. Instead, make natural eye contact during conversation. When someone is talking, look at them. When you're responding, look at them. And naturally let your eyes move when you're thinking or looking around. The goal is to communicate, "I am comfortable talking to you," not, "I have been trained by the FBI." Natural is always better. And here's something even more important than eye contact. Attention. Imagine you're talking to someone and they're constantly checking their phone. They're looking around. They're barely reacting to what you're saying. Even if their posture is perfect, they don't feel confident. They feel distracted. Now imagine someone who actually listens. They look at you. They respond to what you said. They aren't constantly checking notifications. That person feels more present. And presence is a huge part of what people interpret as confidence. So if you want better aura, start giving people something extremely rare these days: your full attention. Now let's talk about your hands, because your hands can expose nervousness really quickly. When people feel uncomfortable, they often start doing random things without realizing it. Touching their face, playing with their clothes, tapping their fingers, adjusting their hair, moving constantly, checking their pockets, playing with a pen. There's nothing wrong with using your hands. Actually, natural hand gestures can make you a better communicator. The key is intention. When you're explaining something, let your hands move naturally. When you're listening, let them rest. When you're standing, you don't need to constantly find something for your hands to do. You don't need to freeze. You just need to remove the unnecessary movement. Think of it this way. Move when you have a reason to move. Stay still when you don't. That alone can make your body language look much more controlled. Now here's something most people completely overlook. Your facial expression. You might have great posture, great eye contact, good hand movements, but if your face constantly looks nervous, tense, or uncomfortable, people will notice. And no, I'm not telling you to smile all the time. That's actually the opposite of what you want. A relaxed face is better. If something is funny, laugh. If you're excited, show it. If you're listening, let your expression naturally respond. Don't force a confident face, because the moment you're thinking, do I look confident right now? You're already becoming self-conscious. And self-consciousness is one of the biggest things that destroys natural body language. Think about it. You're talking to someone, but instead of listening to them, half of your brain is thinking, where are my hands? Am I standing weird? Do I look nervous? Are they judging me? And suddenly, you're not actually in the conversation anymore. You're watching yourself from the outside. So here's a powerful shift. Stop asking, how do I look? Start asking, what's happening right now? If someone is talking to you, listen. If you're meeting someone new, be curious about them. If you're giving a presentation, focus on your message. If you're walking into a new environment, observe what's happening around you. Move your attention away from yourself and toward the world around you. You'll be surprised how much more naturally confident you become. Now let's talk about something that sounds almost too simple. Stillness, not being frozen. Stillness. Imagine someone sitting in front of you. They're bouncing their leg, moving their hands, changing their position every few seconds, looking around, touching their face. Now imagine someone else sitting comfortably. They're listening. They're relaxed. They move when they need to. And when they speak, their movements match their words. Who feels more composed? Usually the second person. Why? Because they don't look like they're fighting with their own nervous system. They look comfortable. And that's exactly what you want. You don't have to react to every tiny thing. You don't have to fill every silence. You don't have to answer every question immediately. Sometimes taking 1 second to think before you speak actually makes you seem more thoughtful. So don't be afraid of pauses. You're allowed to think. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to take your time. And that brings us to your voice. Your voice isn't technically body language, but it plays a huge role in how your presence feels. If you're nervous, you might speak really fast. You might rush through your sentences. You might lower your volume. You might keep saying because your brain is trying to catch up with your mouth. The solution isn't to force yourself to sound deep. You don't need a fake movie trailer voice. Just slow down slightly. Speak clearly. Finish your sentences. Take natural pauses. And most importantly, get comfortable hearing your own voice. You don't need to sound like anybody else. Your goal isn't to copy someone's personality. Your goal is to become more comfortable expressing your own. Now imagine you're walking into a room full of people you don't know. This is where most people start overthinking. What should I say? What if they don't like me? What if I look awkward? What if nobody talks to me? And suddenly you're so focused on yourself that you forget there's an entire room around you. So keep it simple. Walk in naturally. Look around. Keep your posture relaxed. Make eye contact when appropriate. Say hello. Start a simple conversation. You don't need the perfect opening line. You don't need to act mysterious. You don't need to prove that you're the coolest person there. Just participate. And here's something I really want you to remember. Confidence isn't about making other people feel smaller. Real confidence often makes other people feel more comfortable. Think about the people you actually enjoy being around. They're usually not constantly trying to impress everyone. They listen. They don't interrupt every sentence. They aren't desperate for attention. They can laugh at themselves. They make other people feel heard. That's presence. And that's a much better definition of aura than simply getting people to stare at you. So if you want to increase your aura through body language, don't try to become some completely different person. Start by removing the things that make you look uncomfortable. Stop rushing. Put your phone away during conversations. Relax your shoulders. Keep your head up. Make natural eye contact. Use your hands naturally. Reduce unnecessary movements. Speak clearly. Listen properly. And learn to be comfortable with silence. But most importantly, stop trying so hard to look confident. Because here's the paradox. The more desperately you try to look confident, the less confident you can appear. But when you stop performing, when you stop constantly checking how you look, when you start paying attention to the people and the environment around you, your body naturally becomes calmer. Your movements become more natural. Your voice becomes more comfortable. Your posture improves. And people can feel that. That's what real presence looks like. Not being the loudest, not being the most intimidating, not getting everyone's attention. It's being comfortable enough with yourself that you don't need constant approval. So the next time you walk into a room, don't ask yourself, how can I make everyone notice me? Ask yourself, can I be completely present right now? Because the goal isn't to become the person everyone watches. The goal is to become the person who doesn't need to be watched. And when you reach that point, you don't have to chase an aura. People can simply feel your presence.